My situation isn't easier.
Oh, there's a surprise. I knew it would become about you.
I miss my family.
Oh, you're full of shit. All you ever did was ignore them, and now that they're gone, you miss them. Fucking incredible.
I'll tell you what's incredible. Fucking incredible.
Hey!
You mother...
Hey!
What?
Enough! You got me out here. You roped me into your crazy world of bullshit. If it was lies, new age shit, and arguments about how good life used to be, I could have stayed my ass in Los Santos.
When Rockstar first let it be known that their latest installment in the Grand Theft Auto series was going to consist of 3 playable protagonists with their own unique set of personalities, cars, safe houses, tastes, and even interactions with each other.
F, is that your auntie?
Yeah, thank God I missed her crazy ass. She's spirit walking and shit now, man. That's just her attempts to...
Hey, don't be talking shit about your auntie, man. She got it.
It was a huge thing. Not only were we going to be getting a massive open world with an in-game online economy, wildlife, gang members, convenience stores you can rob, properties to own, and a level of customization ranging from cosmetic and vehicle performance changes to hair and clothing styles, tattoos, and unique personal relationships, but they were also bringing back some light RPG elements similar to what we've seen all the way back in San Andreas, with Franklin, Trevor, and Michael all having their own preset skill levels tied to shooting, flying, driving, and running, with each one being upgradable. On the surface, Rockstar was going all in for gameplay with seamless character swapping, with each character randomly doing their own thing, from buying weed, leaving a strip club, arguing with a family member, escaping the cops, or straight up waking up in the wilderness in nothing but their underwear or even a dress. It added an extra layer of these characters feeling like living, breathing people with their own lives, hobbies, and misdeeds going on outside of the player just controlling them. While Trevor, Michael, and Franklin are all well-written characters with their own interesting relationships blossoming or in some cases turning sour, there's no doubt some things were sacrificed in order for Rockstar to properly juggle 3 playable protagonists. While we can never for sure say what exactly was the things that were left out or simply didn't make it into the final game due to time or resource constraints, or simply Grand Theft Auto 5 itself was already a massive game, any additional activities or characters would have simply been too much for the hardware and the teams behind this masterpiece of a game to handle. On the surface, without a doubt, narrative most notably came at the cost of Rockstar leaning more into multiple protagonists, making some people, including myself, feel like the amazing story Grand Theft Auto 5 could have had was compromised for a little extra gameplay value. I talked more about this in depth in another video, so I'm not going to go too in depth or dwell about it here, but rather tackle the idea of Grand Theft Auto 6 and having 2 playable protagonists within that game. Back in 2013, with the initial release of Grand Theft Auto 5, it was novel and exciting. Grand Theft Auto never had multiple playable protagonists before. I think the idea of Rockstar actually pulling it off within a massive state like that of Los Santos, along with seamless or just smooth character swapping on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 hardware, was no small feat. The story was great, don't get me wrong, but it still didn't feel like it held a candle up to Niko Bellic and seeing him come to a new country to seek revenge for a past that still haunts him, while also trying to make a comfortable existence for himself and his cousin Roman. After Grand Theft Auto 5, we did get Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that prior to its release, only Grand Theft Auto 4's story was what we really had in terms of how serious of a story Rockstar can craft. And with this game, we were able to see how well the creative writers at Rockstar are so damn talented at writing characters, a giant gang of individuals with their own wants, needs, personalities, and jobs out of the gang, on top of making meaningful references and tie-ins to the original Red Dead Redemption. Given the time that's passed from Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, I'd personally think a double protagonist approach, for those that didn't know, Grand Theft Auto 6 is rumored. I say rumored because Rockstar hasn't, I believe, officially confirmed it themselves. But as far as the leaks goes, it seems like the game is going to have 2 protagonists, with them being a man and a woman that are twins. Personally, I think that would be a nice compromise of the 2, with one less protagonist, and given the fact that the 2 are blood or at least share some intimate connection, there wouldn't be any other need to deviate and explain extra characters like we've seen in Grand Theft Auto 5, where there was time taken to introduce us to each individual protagonist and what's going on in their immediate world and where they currently are in their lives, their circles, their friends, family, or associates. And then Rockstar had to take more time to introduce each one of them to each other, and then slowly in the background develop this giant narrative that was a story we all know and love. Looking at the history of the series and seeing how well they've gotten at storytelling over the years, whether if they decided to go back to one playable protagonist with Grand Theft Auto 6 or the following game, given the advancements in hardware and the evolution of the creative teams behind these projects, eventually it wouldn't be too far off to see an outcome where we get a story potentially even more fleshed out than Grand Theft Auto 4, or hell, even Red Dead Redemption 2, with even multiple people to play as, whether that be 2 or even 3 again. But I think, while it sounds like a weird approach to some, the Bonnie and Clyde twin angle angle may actually work out really well, and it would be an easier transition. To see the relationship between the two of them and there really not being any type of necessity to bring everyone up to speed on anything else like we saw in Grand Theft Auto 5 with Trevor, Ron, and Wade, or Franklin with Lamar, Stretch, or his aunt and their living conditions. From a narrative point, it'll give much more leeway to focus on some of the smaller details, and that in turn would make the larger, more urgent events and situations have much more weight and meaning to them. If they decided to bring back the quote-unquote RPG elements back in terms of having upgradable skill sets like that of Grand Theft Auto 5, like I said, tied to stuff like driving, shooting, swimming, flying, I would love to see more depth to that. Back with CJ in San Andreas, you can make him an absolute fat ass, fighting off every known and unknown form of diabetes and heart disease, to doing the polar opposite and making him insanely ripped. I'd love to see that on a deeper level, and from a gameplay perspective, let's say the twins have polar opposite personalities and temperaments, you can actually make that disparity between the two be much more apparent by changing their not only superficial looks in terms of tattoos, hairstyles, things that they're wearing, but also just how they take care of their bodies and how they carry themselves and how they want other people to perceive them. But that's just my outlook on it. What do you think? Would you rather have a single or multiple protagonist approach? Would you want the GTA series to start being more known for good storytelling, or do you think that's something Rockstar should really just leave with the Red Dead series and push their focus more so on the gameplay side of things, to the point where they go back to their roots and focus more on an arcadic type of a feel? I'd love to hear what you think about this. But either way, thank you for taking your time to watch this video. If you are interested in anything GTA or really Rockstar related, feel free to hit the subscribe button. But until next time, I'll see you all later.